Hello, authors. Let's take a moment to talk about your overview. Every argument essay begins with an overview. You might think it's kind of like an introduction or a summary, but it's actually more than a summary. What you're doing is you're going to answer some questions for your reader by guessing what questions they might have. You're going to anticipate what they'll need to know in order to make sense of what you're arguing. You might answer, what actually is this problem? Or what does my reader need to know about this topic? Like, do they need background information, important definitions, events, people, laws? They might be wondering, why is this topic important? Why does it matter? And to whom does it matter? Why is this important right now? Is something currently happening in the world that makes this relevant? What are some different perspectives or sides that people might have on this issue? Let's look at some student writing samples to think about which of these questions they might be trying to answer in their own overview. Here's a student sample on social media for kids. Social media is very popular and worldwide addictive. People are getting hooked every day and spending less time in the real world. Social media is addictive, not just to young kids, but also adults. There have not been studies that completely show that social media is good, but also none that prove that it is bad. Is it because some people overuse it? Is it because people don't spend as much time with each other anymore? So this writer did an excellent job with their overview by anticipating some questions that their audience might have. They tried to answer, why is this topic important? And why does it matter? And to whom? They talked about how this is important to young kids and also adults and people worldwide. And what do we need to know? Well, they shared that there have not been studies that are conclusive as to whether social media has positive or negative impacts on people. This is all great background knowledge before starting the rest of your paper. Let's look at another example. This topic is what to do about the wolf population. Now, this writer knows a lot about the wolf population because they've been researching it, but I don't know anything, so I need to know all of this information they're about to share. Wolves are scary, right? They attack people, kill animals, and have really sharp teeth. It's common sense that we should kill them, but that's not the whole story. Wolves could be essential to our environment. Deer and wolf populations are finally rising at a good rate. We should still hunt them, though, or not. So what'll it be? Now, I still have lots of questions. I'm still very in the dark about this wolf issue. I look forward to reading the rest of the paper, but this author tried to educate me on some things that I needed to know, such as that wolves are essential to our environment and that the population of deer and wolf are, it says, finally rising at a good rate. So I assume they struggled at some point. So there's some important information shared in this overview that I need in order to make sense of the rest of their argument. Here's a third and final example. This topic is on school start time. People are debating about what one is better, a 4-day school week or a 5-day school week. Some people are saying that a 4-day school week is better for mental health. Some people are saying that a 5-day school week is better because that's what we have been doing for so long. What is actually best for our community? So this author attempted to answer my audience question of what could be some different perspectives on this issue. What are some different sides of this issue? 4-day week for mental health, 5-day week because it's tradition. So the hardest part of writing an overview is definitely just getting started. And one way you can get started is to think about the questions I've posed to you and which ones your audience really needs the answers to. It could be one or several. So here's what some answers could sound like. If you believe your audience needs to know what is the problem, you might say, the British Museum is in the middle of a big conflict about the ownership of some artifacts. Or you might need to educate your audience about some important information about this topic, such as definitions, like a drone is an aircraft flown with no humans on board. It is operated by a remote. We can't assume that our readers automatically know what a drone is. Or about the wolves conversation, you might need to tell your readers, hey, actually, in the state of Wisconsin, it's currently illegal to hunt wolves. We can't assume they know that. Your audience might wonder, so why is this topic important? Why does it matter? And to whom does it matter? Social media is very popular and worldwide addictive. People are getting hooked every day and spending less time in the real world. That sounds pretty important to me, so this author made some good points. Your audience might need to know, why is this important right now? Is something currently going on or happening? You might need to tell them, this summer, the world will enjoy the 2024 Olympics. Or maybe right now, our school board is currently considering moving from a 5-day week to a 4-day school week. Or several schools in our state have recently moved from a 5-day to a 4-day school week. Lastly, you might need to tell your audience some different perspectives or sides on this issue, such as, some people feel strongly that artifacts should remain in the museum, while others feel they should be returned to their country of origin. Hopefully, this short tutorial has given you some really good ideas about what needs to go into your overview and what that might look and sound like.